Alright guys, I have a juicy one for you today. It's about how I saved $34,000 at age 16. It's closer to like 36 after I include like my inventory and stuff. But I'm gonna go through my income, my side hustles, my expenses, my mindset, everything. And you could probably see this video is probably gonna be pretty long because I have a bunch of stuff here. So let's just start out. Budgeting. I've saved like 90% of what I make. So it's really interesting. It's really paradoxical because I had like a document, like a little Notion document, like a Notion page, where I was like, here's every single thing that I'm gonna buy. So it's like, I like watch YouTube videos and it's like, oh, this video is sponsored by AG1. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get AG1 when I start making money. And it's like this video is sponsored by that. I'm gonna get this clothing. I'm gonna get that item. I'm gonna use this shaving cream. Like the most random stuff. And I ended up like I started making money, and it's like, oh, I have like 80 bucks now of profit that I can play with. I just profited 80 bucks in the past 2 hours. Uh, let's let's go refer back to that document of all this. Dude, my hair is messed up. Let's go refer back to that document of all the stuff that I wanted to buy. And it's like I don't really want to buy it. I kind of just want to save it now. And that's the mindset that you need to have. I literally saved 90% of all that I made, and the other 10% is just like lifestyle stuff. Like I pay for groceries, like books. Like I got like a tablet for reading. I got like a better phone. But I'll go over all of that. It's like small, like life. It's not like impulse purchases basically, and it's just like life improvement stuff, and they're all logical decisions. So number one, save as much as possible. There's this kind of idea that like spend like 50% on your expenses. If you're younger, then just like rely on your parents on that for that stuff. If you're able to. If you're older, then obviously you're gonna have expenses and stuff. But there's this like lie that it's like, oh, spend like 50% on your expenses, or spend X amount on your expenses. Yeah, fair enough if you need to, and then spend like 40%, the other 40% that you have left over on your own stuff, like just like buy random stuff, buy clothes and stuff, and then you only have to save 10%. It's like, yeah, if you want to start out with that, then that's fine, but you want to get as close as possible to saving as much as possible. Just save. Don't spend any money on unnecessary stuff, and I'll get more into that later. So I put all of that into long-term investments, which I'm going to get into in a second. And you really need to think about opportunity costs and second-order consequences. You need to think about the long-term effects. What do I mean by that? For example, just a quick example. Let's say you buy like a new TV. You go to Best Buy, and you have this new fresh smart TV. It's like QHD, like the newest technology. It's like micropixel, crystalline. Like I don't even know, like the newest inventions that they have with like the new Samsung TVs, and it's like a huge like 70-inch TV. So you get it because you start making money and you get this nice TV, and then you have the TV now. You set it up in your room. That already takes a bunch of time. Not to mention you just bought like an $800 TV, this super nice crisp TV, and the second that you bought it, it went down in value so much. Now if you want to sell it, it's worth like 500 bucks at the most. So you just lost 300 bucks. Then you have to set it up. That's going to take time. That's going to be like half a day itself. Maybe not that long, but you get what I mean. You have to set the dang thing up. And then you have this TV now. And it's like, oh, okay, I bought this TV. I have to use it now in order to get my money's worth. So now you sit down, you lay on your bed, and you just rot and you just watch TV. You watch like YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and stuff, whatever you watch. And maybe not what you watch, but like whatever people watch on TVs. You're not gonna watch useful stuff on TVs usually. So now you're wasting time watching stuff on the TV, and it just compounds. That's the second order consequence. So the first order consequence, oh, I lose a bit of money, and I take a bit of time setting it up. But after that, you have to once you have the TV, you have to spend time watching the TV, and then you're going to become more lazy, and that's less time that you put into your work. That's less time that you spend making money, and it just goes downhill from there. So think before you buy. I'm going to get more into that later, but here's another example. Eating out every week. Let's say you go to Chipotle every other day, or you're out with your friends. You get like boba or something, or you get, I don't know. Like I don't know what people eat, like Chipotle. You got to Taco Bell something. Of course, yeah, you're ruining your health and you're losing a bit of money. But think about the second order consequences. You ruin your health, so now you have lower energy to put into work, you have less thought energy. You don't think as well, and also, here, let me take this off. And also now you're spending what, like 10, 20 bucks every single week, and that compounds. You could invest that every single time into your investments, and you can save that. That can be part of your 90% that you keep saving, and that's gonna keep compounding over and over and over, and you lose. Not only that, there's a bunch of bad things that come from that. Like you lose autonomy. Like for example, you start forgetting how to cook yourself. You forget how to make your own meals. That's like a necessary skill just in general. Like let's say you're on vacation, you're not gonna like let's say you're on vacation, everything's closed. You just have whatever fridge is in the pantry. You're not going to be able to cook. You're not going to be able to like help people out. It's just like a necessary skill. And all of that money, once again, could be compounded, could be put into investments, could be put into a high yield savings account, made like 4% every single year. These are small things, but they add up. And another example is like you start making your first bit of money, and then you finance a sports car. And this is pretty obvious. You know, you have the gas. You're going to use premium gas. It's going to be like 10 mpg, 10, 20 mpg. If it's like a BMW or something, you're going to have crazy maintenance, reliability issues, especially if it's like a Range Rover or something, BMW, all that stuff. It doesn't even need to be that expensive. Range Rover is a bit much, but like, you get what I mean. If you get like an old JDM, if you get like a S2000, there's probably going to be a bit of issues with reliability, and you're going to have to like deal with parts and all that stuff. And then you're probably going to want to mod it as well. That's like the second order consequences. You're just investing more money. You're going to get new tires. You're going to get new wheels. You're going to get like a Sparco steering wheel. You're going to get seats, everything. If you don't know car stuff, you probably think I'm crazy right now, just saying whatever. But and also just get like a reliable daily driver, because you don't want to have if you finance a sports car and you don't have like a proper daily driver, and just with your first bit of money you just bought a nice sports car instead of a nice everyday car like a Tesla, then you're gonna have like a loud sports car, and let's say you're like trying to bring your mom to the grocery store, and she doesn't want to. I don't know, let's say you're trying to bring more than two people, you're going to have issues with that. You're going to have like barely any back seats. You're going to have these tiny ass back seats, or you're not going to have back seats at all. I'm out of breath. And you're not going to be able to hold cargo. You're not going to be able to store stuff properly. You're not going to, you're going to have this loud ass car when you're trying to like drive your mom to the grocery store and stuff. You're not going to like, don't get a sports car, which is like something that you're going to very occasionally use for its intended purpose, when 90% of the time it's going to be grocery store, it's going to be going to school or work, it's going to be, you know, like, you get what I mean. And even, we could even take this farther. You spend your first bit of money, your first 10K or something, first 10, 20K, on a nice sports car, like I don't know, an old JDM or maybe a BMW or something. And now, you probably have a dream car or something. Now it's going to be less of a jump because you have your horrible daily driver over here, and then you have your dream car over here. Now if you get a sports car, you're already halfway there. So you're going to be like, oh, the sports car is not that bad actually. And now you're going to have less of a desire to go and get your dream car, your eventual like final dream car. And obviously, if you're financing, you could get into debt. There's also interest that you have to pay on that. It's just a bad decision in general. You have that freaking 19.99% APR. Then it's cost and time into modding your car, repairing, maintenance, and all the money that you put into the car financing, and all the additional money with gas and stuff that I mentioned. All of that money could be spent investing and literally compounding. So think about, you're not spending 20K on a car. You're spending, since you're financing it, first of all, it's going to be like 25K after the interest and stuff. Maybe not that much, but first of all, it's going to be like 25K, and then you have gas and everything, which I already mentioned. But if you invested that, it would have been, that 20K would have been over 5 years. If you did some smart investments, it could be like 40K, 50K. Just depends on how smart your investments are. But that's less time. If you're spending all your time on your car and modding it and taking photos, and you open up an Instapage and stuff, that's less time that you spend working on a business or a way to make more money, or just improving your life and your skills in general. And it's basically instant gratification. It doesn't seem like it. People are gonna be like, oh, sick car, dude. Oh, that's a crazy exhaust. No way. But it's instant gratification. You're going out the easy way, and you're basically, if you spend your money on nice stuff, it's instant gratification because you're looking for instant status for the work that you've put in. So you put in a bit of work to make a bit of money, and you got a bit of results because you got a bit of money. And now you just want to splurge it because you just want to show people, yeah, I made a bit of money. And what's way more impressive is that you make way more money, and then either you make way more money and then you show it off to people, which I don't suggest, or you make way more money and then you just keep it quiet and you don't have that kind of insecurity, that kind of desire for status from like mediocre people, and people just find out themselves. If they, people will eventually find out themselves. That's way better. But anyways, I'm striving a bit off topic. A nice car is probably one of the last things that you should do with your money. It is a horrible financial decision for all the reasons that I just gave you. Now, side hustles. This is how I made my 34K. So this is probably what you're waiting for, like 34 to 36K. I found reselling. Reselling is the best way to make money. It is the absolute most effective if you have a driver's license. Even if you don't, I started reselling like 6 months. No, not like 8 months before I even had my license, and I just had my dad drive me around and stuff. If you have that privilege, if you have a brother or a sister or something, then you can maybe even like split it with them, like split the profits with them. But reselling is the absolute most effective way to make money. I resell entry level professional cameras like Canon and Nikon cameras on Facebook Marketplace specifically. For like I usually buy for 1 to 200 and I sell for 2 to 300 usually. Sometimes I get a little outlier. I get like a camera for like a bit ago I got a camera for 950 and I sold it for 1,720 or something, which was crazy. But yes, you are trading your time for money. But if that's your objection, oh, I don't want to trade my time for money. I want to work on a business. I don't want to have to put in X amount of time and get X amount of money out. You need to do that when you're starting out. You need to put in some amount of time in exchange for some amount of money. You can't have that kind of ego when you're just starting out and you're just trying to start making money. But it is a damn good trade of time for money because I make at least about $50 to $100 an hour, which is crazy. Yeah, I still am like amazed by it. But and once you get the hang of like reselling and stuff, like finding good deals on Facebook Marketplace, knowing how to negotiate, knowing how to message them, knowing how to work out a meetup, knowing how to like test the camera and stuff. Once you get in the flow of things, which only takes like your first like 5 flips, and then you kind of get the gist of it, then it's so easy. It's just like second nature. Like for example, when I put my cameras up for sale, I make a nice listing. I write down a nice description. I do nice photos and stuff. I literally like somebody literally watched me while I lifted a camera, and they're like, you do it like a robot, like you know all the buttons and stuff, and yeah, start to finish, like taking nice photos, writing out a nice description, which makes it sell for a higher price and makes it sell for faster than like a bad listing where it's bad photos, and it's like not very clear like what the camera is. Sometimes they don't even show like the camera model, so it could be like a old like $50 camera, or it could be the same, or it could be a way different camera that just like there could be a bad camera. There's a lot of examples of a bad camera and a good camera that look basically the exact same. Like for example, something called a Canon Rebel XSI and like a Canon Rebel T7, for example. Those cameras look almost the same, but it's like $100 versus like a $300 camera or like a $250 camera. So some people don't even like show properly the model of the camera. So just take nice photos and everything like that. And when I write out the description, I do it all start to finish, and I put up the listing and I put it up for sale on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp, and it takes me like 5 minutes start to finish. And it's like, dude, you're like a robot. You write it out so fast, you copy paste the description so fast, and you take the photo so fast. It's like it's all like second nature. It's very quick once you get the hang of it. Yeah, I'm talking fast here because there's a lot to go through. And most other side hustles, they either require way too much skill or energy. Like for example, actually doing photography. I originally bought my first camera not with the intention of reselling, but to actually try to do photography and try to get into that business like weddings and stuff. But it's so stressful because you have to, first of all, you have to drive over to the wedding, then you have to be at the wedding for like 8 hours, and it's so stressful because if you get like bad photos, or if your battery dies or something, or you don't prepare properly, and you have to think about eating when you're there, and you have to get proper photos, and you can't miss this event, you can't miss this one-time thing. Like they don't do the marriage part of it where it's like the vows and stuff. They don't do that like twice. You don't get a second take, so it's super stressful. It's like a once in a lifetime event, and you have to like edit the photos, and then you have to stay in contact with them. It's so much work. It's so much skill, so much time, so much energy. You have to think about, should I use this lens? Should I use that lens? It just in general, you get what I mean. It's so much work, and you get paid like $30 an hour or something. So just resell. It's like $50 to $100. It's way easier. You make way more, and either things take way too much skill or energy, or they just don't pay well. Like survey apps, gig apps, like Uber Eats, Uber. There's like Amazon Flex. You get what I mean. Like Grubhub, stuff like that, or like a part-time job, or babysitting, pet sitting, like dog walking even. Those pay, and it's consistent and it's reliable, but it's like $15 to $20 an hour or less. So I've looked at all of those. I've tried a bunch of things. I've tried at least like 30 different ways to make money over the past several years. I have them all written down. That's not an exaggeration. I've tried a bunch of businesses. I've tried a bunch of side hustles. And by far, the best one is reselling. Because it's just a crazy trade of time for money. $50 to $100 an hour is insane. Even though it's not the most consistent. Some days I have 2 sales. Some days I buy 3 cameras. Other days I'm not buying anything for 2 or 3 days. It's not that consistent, but it's not like it's crazy inconsistent. Like week to week, I'm making about the same amount of money. I'm making about seven. I'm making about $700 a week approximately. Like it's pretty consistent month to month, week to week even. Just like in the short term, it's not like, oh, I'm making $50 a day consistently. It's just not that consistent. And also expenses. So you need to aggressively cut out every single expense that you have, especially consistent expenses. So things that you're consistently spending money on. As an example of a sports car. So yeah, I don't know what I'm not cutting this out. Anyways, you need to aggressively get rid of your expenses. So if you think that you need something every day, like for example, a Starbucks coffee, or you need to go to Dutch Bros, or you need to get your Dunkin' every day, and you make that part of your identity, then you have been marketed to and conditioned and brainwashed, and you have habitualized the fact that you need this thing every single day. You have got it deep into your mind due to really good advertising and basically like public perception and the desire to fit in and stuff, that you need to get Starbucks every day. Because it's like, I don't know, let's say that you go into school and everybody's like, oh yeah, of course, you have your Starbucks cup, you have your Starbucks drink, you have the freaking double chocolate mocha, whatever. And it's like, you've made that part of your identity because you go into school every day and you have your double shot chocolate mocha and everybody notices. So it's like, that's part of your identity now. Now, it doesn't need to be that way. You don't need to spend $5 or $6 on your Starbucks coffee every day, even if it's just like $3. You're still spending the time to go into the drive-thru. You're still spending $3 every single day, which is pretty insane. If you think about it, that's $20 a week. That's like almost $100 a month. That is an insane expense. $100 a month is like a premium gym membership, and that's $100 that you could put in more into your investment portfolio. And if you think about it on the really long scale, not even really long, but it's like $1,200 a year, and that's going to compound. So after a few years, that's like $5,000. So just by unhabitualizing yourself to have like Starbucks every day, you're saving like $5,000 over the longer term, if you get what I mean. And you're also paying to ruin your health because they always put a bunch of sugar. You know, can I get milk and can I get sugar? It's low quality milk. It's they're putting a bunch of sugar in it, and you're relying on this thing for caffeine. And you're gonna have like a crash later on. It's just not worth it. So you've literally grown a dependency and made Starbucks part of your identity. And Starbucks is just an example. This could be for anything. This could be like I don't know, if you get like the same lunch every single day from like Chipotle. I don't know, if every day for lunch you bring a Chipotle bowl and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's your Chipotle bowl. It's like you've made that part of your identity. So if you really need to, you can just make your own coffee at home. You still get the health knockout. It's still damaging your health. It's still a bit it still takes a bit of time, but it's probably going to be healthier because you're not going to pour 20 grams. You're not going to pour 5 teaspoons of sugar into your coffee in front of your own eyes probably, and also all the ingredients that's going into it. Anyways, yeah, also cut out the subscriptions that are damaging you. So for example, if you have Spotify Premium, you're probably addicted to Spotify. Let's just be real. So it's a twofold benefit because you're cutting out this expense, so you're saving like $12 a month, which is not huge, but you're cutting out as much as you can, and you're also improving your mental health. You're also improving your dopamine by not listening to music addictively. Like, I don't know, whatever is on your Spotify Wrapped is probably like, oh, you've listened for 50 days this year, like for like 150,000 minutes. It's like, dude, like stop with the Spotify Premium and it'll probably go down a bit. Like, stop always having AirPods in your ears. That's just an example. I went on a little bit of tangent there, but also get rid of subscriptions that you don't use enough. You know, your Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium, Also, like expenses that you don't use at all. If you don't go to the gym, but you're still paying for a gym membership, and you're like, oh no, I trust me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Either start going today, literally go this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whatever, today, or cancel it. It's like putting an app that you want to start using more on like your desktop, like a little bar at the bottom, the task bar at the bottom, or like in like the front page of your phone. It's like removing Snapchat from the front page of your phone. Like, sorry, it's like putting like a beneficial app on the front page of your phone or at the bottom of your desktop. Like, it's not gonna make you use it more, but by having that app, I hope you get what I mean. By having that app on the front screen of your phone, you're like, oh, I trust me, I'm gonna use it more because I have it in front of my eyes. But it's not about it's not about paying the membership for the gym. It's not about having the app in front of your eyes. Like, you just need to like change your identity. You need to become someone who goes to the gym. You need to become someone who uses the app. It's just having the app on your homepage or on your taskbar is not going to help. A little bit of tangent, but you get what I mean. Like for example, I just canceled my rock climbing membership because it was like $75 a month, and I just wasn't using it enough. I was going like every like 2 or 3 days, which is fine, but that's like $75 a month is pretty steep, and I can put that back into my investments to compound that over time. And it's a bit autistic. You want to go pretty far with this if you want to save as much money as possible. Uh, like if you just want like short term instant gratification and you want status from people and you just want to look nice for like Instagram or something, then you don't have to do this. But if you want a bit of an if you want crazy savings later on and you want to actually accumulate net worth and stuff, then it's going to be a little bit unbalanced in the short term. It's going to be a bit of work. It's going to be pretty unbalanced. It's going to be pretty difficult. And you just need to deal with that. So, stop handing over your money to the grocery store for treats that literally ruin your health. Like, if you're literally spending money on like chocolates and stuff, you are paying. There's no. It's not even like a gym membership where it's like, oh, this is pretty. It's not even like for example, my rock climbing gym membership. It's not even like, oh, this is pretty good. It's a benefit to my life. I'm more social. I'm going to the gym and stuff. I'm getting exercise and stuff. But it's $75 a month, so it's not worth it. There's no pros and cons. It's just a con. You're just ruining your health and you're paying money. So just cut it out. It's a twofold benefit. Keep in your mind that every consistent expense that you cut down, so every single thing that you're consistently paying for, is additional money that you are going to feed into your savings, and also obviously one-time stuff. Like you're fine with your current vacuum. You don't need the newest Dyson super powerful V7 whatever. You don't need the Dyson Airwrap. You don't need a toothbrush with the screen on it, like an electric toothbrush with like the brush modes on it. Like, just brush your teeth, bro. For example, every weekend, let's say you go to Costco and you get the horrible, disgusting, gritty protein bars, and then you flip over the package and you read the ingredients and you can't pronounce half of them. It has like sodium hexametaphosphate, whatever. Maybe from Costco you get like ice cream or you get popsicles. Maybe you get like energy drinks. Oh, I need my Monster as a part of my identity. You're not gonna say that obviously, but it's like you're the guy that drinks the white Monsters. Like, you've made it part of your identity, and that's a huge issue because that company doesn't know who you are. Monster doesn't know who you are, but you're like owing your life to Monster. And it's ruining your life while you're doing it. You're spending like $3 a can and you're having maybe 2 cans a day. It's just ruining your life. You get sodas or something. You get this random supplement. You get like freaking Lion's Mane, B12, ashwagandha, whatever, which you don't even know what it does, but you don't even know what it is, but it's like on discount. So you just get it anyways. You get, I don't know, like a red kidney bean powder. Now, I don't even know what trash people are feeding themselves nowadays, but you need to replace these unhealthy luxuries that you have. You need to replace them with consistent, natural, single ingredient foods, like, I don't know, like cashews or a steak or olive oil or avocado oil or chicken or rice and stuff like broccoli and stuff. Like, I don't know, meat, rice, eggs, fruit, berries, nuts, stuff like that. I could go on and on about this topic itself, about diet and stuff, and the huge effects that it has on your life. But just get single ingredient normal foods in bulk, and that tends to actually be cheaper than the processed unhealthy stuff. And you're improving your life in the process, and you're saving money. So let's just recap. So you go to Costco and you get $30 of what you go to Costco, and of whatever you bought, like $30 of that is unhealthy food, but you got it because it tastes good. So instant gratification, just admit it, dude. And you also go out with your friends and you end up buying like Chipotle bowl or something. So that's another $10, and then you have Spotify Premium, so that's $3 for the week. So I'm doing this on a weekly basis because I'm assuming that every weekend you go to Costco. So $30 for Costco, $10 on the weekend because you went to Chipotle, and then $3 for Spotify Premium because it's like $12 a month. I'm talking fast, sorry. And then you have your coffee every morning, obviously, because you need that as part of your identity. That's another $3 every day, so it's like $20 in a week. And then you have, let's say, like a membership that I had, which is like rock climbing membership, so that's $75 a month, so it's like $18 a week. And then what else do you have? You also impulse buy some stuff from Amazon and TikTok Shop because you need to treat yourself. You know, I need to spoil myself a little bit. I need to get a little chocolate. I need to get a little gadget. I need to get this little lamp, this cute little lamp I saw on TikTok Shop. So that's like, let's say that's like $10. Okay, just to be careful. Sorry, conservative. And then you get new jeans and you get some shirt, not the K-pop, and you get some like 2 new T-shirts because I go to this clothing store every single weekend. What do you mean? I go to Nordstrom Rack every single weekend, or I don't know, like I go to PacSun. Is that even a physical store? I don't know. I go to PacSun. I go to Lululemon every weekend. What are you talking about? That's at least another $30 a week. And you need to smile every single time that you cut out something from your life, because in that week alone, that was what, like 30, 10, 20. That's like $110 a week, which is $440 a month, which is crazy. All of that could go into your investments. And you want to smile every time you ruthlessly cut out something, because then you're gaining an advantage over other people while you're doing that, because other people are still spending their money on whatever fast food, whatever junk, and they're literally hurting their health in the process. That's unrelated, but they're wasting money and you're getting an edge over them. Maybe you don't want to have that kind of me versus them mindset, but just imagine that you're gaining an advantage, like you're benefiting yourself every time you do that. Just have that in mind. And yeah, don't do this if you just want to maximize your dopamine and your short-term fun. But if you want to accumulate savings and you want to have an insane amount of money, like 34K at 16, which is pretty crazy. I'm not trying to. I can't believe I just did that. But it adds up, dude. 440 a month, and compound that with investments and stuff. I'm gonna get to that at the end of the video. But another one, which is huge. So since you watched for 27 minutes, I'll drop this insane gem for you. You need to buy everything used. Okay? I bought my Tesla used. I bought my Tesla in like June. I bought it used, and it was 1/3 of how much it would have been. Well, 1/3 or 1/2 to how much they kind of are right now. Well, after taxes, it was well under 1/2 the price of if I bought it new, and it was almost a new car. So Facebook Marketplace is great to profit from with like reselling and stuff. That's how I make my money, but also to save a bunch of money. So my phone, the one that's recording this video right now, I bought it. This was a Samsung S24 Ultra. I literally bought it in 2024, December 2024 or something like that. I bought it for like $400, and it came with the case, which and it retailed for like well over 1,000. So I saved so much on that. I bought a really nice laptop. Not super nice, but it was like a Lenovo Yoga. I use that every single day. It's a super nice laptop. Retailed over almost like $1,000, and it had like 1 or 2 terabytes of storage. I think it's terabyte. Really nice laptop, really fast processor, everything. It was brand new. I got it for like $260, right? And the guy came to me. He literally delivered it to my house. It was basically a new laptop. My standing desk that I'm recording this on a standing desk. My keyboard, my mouse, my exercise equipment, literally my car, my clothes. I got all my clothes from Goodwill. All of it came from Marketplace. Well, not all of it came from Marketplace, but all of it came used. I get like new condition, barely used stuff for well over half off, just like I mentioned with my car. It's like a constant Black Friday discount. That's why I haven't bought anything this Black Friday. And the best part of that, even just for like a thought experiment, you might want to see like what are the stuff that I bought this Black Friday, and you might want to look on like eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something like that, and you'll see it's way cheaper there than whatever discount that you bought. Anyways, if you have the humility for that, because it is kind of an ego hit. But yeah, the best part of that is that for more expensive items like tech and stuff, I can find great deals, and then I can jump on them ASAP, and then I can use the item, and then I can resell it for profit. after I'm done with it. For example, you can do this with cologne, like Creed Aventus. People sell like 60% used bottles for and those still sell. Like used bottles of cologne still sell because they still have liquid in them. I see Creed Aventus sell, and I see good deals on Creed Aventus and like other good colognes. I personally did this with my previous phone, which was a Galaxy Z Fold 3, like the folding phone, the one that doubles in size. I had fun with that, and then I sold it for a profit. My Meta Ray-Ban glasses, the Meta Ray-Bans, my shoes. I did it with a futon I used to have. I used to have a futon. I did it with that. Like I bought the futon for like $20 and I sold it for like 50 or 60. Like running, yeah, I've done this with shoes, like personal and also running shoes. My personal cameras, I had a Sony RX107 Mark 7, which I bought for $550 and then I sold it just now for $1,300. Same thing. I sold it months later, so it took a little depreciation hit. I used it on like hikes and stuff. I had fun with it, and it was a super great camera. And then I just sold it, and I profited. So it's beautiful. It's really nice, and I profited from those purchases, and I still got to use the items. I had fun with my Meta Ray-Bans. I didn't lose any money on them. I gained money on them. I had fun with my phone. I slept on a futon for a few days. I had fun with my running shoes. And then I just sold it when I didn't want it anymore. You're just renting it, and you're getting paid while you rent it because you got a good deal on them. So keep your current clothes or get them from Goodwill. Those are your only options. Okay, so keep what you currently have or get a great deal on it used. Those are your only options. You don't buy new stuff. You don't need luxuries right now. It's like spend your time saving and stuff. You can get the luxuries later. Your future self would love you for this, dude. Finally, mindset. This is super important. Money is a game, okay? So you'll really start to get this when you quit video games and you quit these other entertainment sources in your life, and money starts to become the game. Money starts to become the entertainment source. So I try to stack as much money as possible, like it's a currency in a video game. And this is a really stupid reference, but think of like Bee Swarm Simulator if you ever played it on Roblox. It's like honey in Bee Swarm Simulator, like or like any simulator game. Like you stack up the currency, and then you invest that currency in order to get more of it. So I don't know. For example, this is gonna be a stupid example, but in Bee Swarm Simulator, you start with this little wand, and then with the wand you get a bit of honey, but then with the bit of honey that you can get a better wand, and that better wand gets you more honey, and then that better wand gets you more honey, and that more honey gets you an even better wand, and like better equipment and stuff, and you get even more honey from that. So it's just like it's a constant cycle. This is where the quote "the rich get richer" comes from, because you're just compounding your money through businesses, through investments, through smart decisions and stuff, and just like positive feedback. So yeah, you can. Money is the currency in a Roblox simulator game. That's basically the point that I'm trying to get at. That's what I have written in my notes here. You can make as much as possible, and you make as much money as possible, and primarily spend the money to make even more money. That's the way that you want to go about it. So you save up like 10K, and then you put that 10K, or you put half of that 10K, and then the other 5K is like an emergency fund. But you put 5K into like going all in on this business that you have full confidence in, and that 5K that you invested in the business becomes 100K, and then you do it again, right? So once you treat money like a game, it actually becomes fun instead of just being this weird, this annoying part of life, part of the cost of living crisis. You stop complaining about it, and it starts actually becoming fun. Instead of looking to unhealthy food or video games or corn for your fun and entertainment, the quest to make X amount of dollars by X time, by, I don't know, December 31st, becomes the fun in your life. Now investing, with all of this 90% saving that I had, I deposit my excess money into my Fidelity used account. This is my investment portfolio. Every time my checking account goes above a few $100, I get rid of the excess. So a few $100 is just in case I'm buying something, like for Costco trips and other stuff that I buy. Maybe for my business I need to spend money on something, and the excess is poured into my investments. So it sounds hard. I have to set up this checking account and then this investment account, this and then that, and then I'm a minor as well, so now I have to do parental stuff, and I have to put my ID here, and I heard there's this new law, whatever. It sounds very, it sounds hard to set up your own checking account if you don't have one, or an investment account, especially if you're a minor. But And then you have to worry about, connecting the investment account to the checking account so you can deposit checking money into the investment account. It sounds super difficult, but it's actually pretty easy, and you only have to do it once, okay? Once you set it up once, there's no errors, there's no issues usually, and just works perfectly. And then you have your debit card, which you can use for purchases. And then you can just go to the ATM and you can deposit cash, and it goes up into your checking account. And from the checking account, it goes into your you can put in your investment account, and then you can set it up like recurring deposits, and you can also take money from your investment account into your checking. It all just works seamlessly together. And we're almost done here. Sorry for the information overload you're probably having. And once you go through all the approvals and you have the parental stuff and you put your ID and stuff, it's set up after just like a few days. So set all of this ASAP. Set up all of this accounts and stuff ASAP. And I can make a separate video on it if need be. Probably not, because it's different for different counties and different ages. Like if you're a minor, it's different and stuff. But it's pretty simple. Just set up a bank account at your local bank. Just ask your parents or something if you don't already know. And then set up specifically a Fidelity Youth account. That's the only investment place where where I know that I know allows for under 18 accounts. I literally set it up the day I turned 13. Like, it's not super hard. It takes like with the day I turned 13 was the first day that I was able to do it, because I'm a teenager now, and it wasn't that much work. It was a bit of work, but it was a one-time thing. Now I'm not going to tell you specifically what to put your money in. Not financial advice, but I currently have all of my money in Tesla stock because I think that it's going to go up crazy over the long term, over the next 5 years. At the maximum, it's going to go up way more before that, but after 5 years, it's really going to start popping off with all the stuff that they're doing. You could have your own opinions on that. Maybe you don't agree. But I have approximately 74 shares, which is like $33,600 at the time of this recording, because it's like $455 a share. And that is 100% of my portfolio. So the rest of that, the rest of my 2K or something, is in my checking account, in my inventory, in my business, and in the objects that I own, like my phone and my laptop, for example, and also my car, which I have a whole whatever with my car. Ignore that. Frick, dude. I messed up at the end of this video, dude. That was a pretty good recording for the most part. I talked way too much. But, yeah. I've already made like 25% on my investment in Tesla stock, which is like 10K. So investing is a huge part of this. You need to make sure that you're investing, and you don't want to just have your money sitting, because inflation is going to steal that. It is going to slowly tinker down your money. The bare minimum is that you put it in a high yield savings account, which gives you 4% every single year consistently for the rest of your life. Like, guaranteed, it gives you 4% every single year. And yeah, that's it. Now you need to take action. 38 minutes. Goodbye.